Hello and welcome back to more AI the Somnium Files, where we're currently on a date with Iris at the Sunfish Pocket, where there's a mermaid here, and Iris did a little dance, and also Mizuki has the Trident of Specialness or whatever. Prisoner 89 escaped when he absolutely should not have been able to escape, so that was fun. What else happened? Oh yeah, we took Iris to the Yakuza office, which was a brilliant idea, and we are starting to get more pieces as to the picture regarding Tomi's accident and what happened in Date's past, where it possibly might be linked with Falco and all those people who Falco is, we also presume to be Prisoner 89. This route has been insane so far, so we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna head to the Ikume Shrine and see where our investigation takes us from here, because I honestly don't even have the slightest clue at this point. Okay, Ikume Shrine. Ay, ay, ay.
You okay?
It's okay. I just, missed a step.
No, you were about to pass out, Iris. It's not missing a step. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. She was dead! And now she's not dead, because I guess the world changed or whatever. There are many ways in which we can try to explain how Iris is here right now, and I guarantee you not a single one of them is going to make sense. What are you looking at?
A flower over there.
Flower?
You can't see it from here, can you? I know it's there because I've been to this shrine before.
The flower's over there? A stone monument. No, not that. The hell does that stand for? Is it NV? Oh, night vision probably. Okay, so it's night vision. We've engaged night vision to look at the flowers.
An iris. More specifically, a winter iris.
How lovely.
This is the same flower that was on display at Iris's house.
I see. Okay. Hey Iris, I might have found the flower you're looking for.
Yeah. How did you know?
My
It's the same kind that's at my house.
trusty eyeball told me.
I told you about what it means, right?
Good news and hope.
Iris is also a part of the eye, and the Greek goddess of rainbows. A messenger goddess. I told you at Sunfish Pocket. That's why the flower means good news and hope. Mr. Okura isn't here. I mean, of course he isn't. It's not like we came here right away.
He's already taken off.
Too bad.
It looks like there are no further clues here. It appears we've wasted our time.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Prisoner 89 was aided in his escape by Renju, so that's lovely. There's a lot of insane things are going on right now.
It's called Ikume Iribiko Isachi no Mikoto, or sometimes Ikume Tenno, or Ikume no Mikoto. There are legends about this place written in the old text. It's a shrine dedicated to the gods. The old legend goes like this. One day, Ikume Iribiko sent one of his followers, Taji Momori, on an urgent quest to find a mysterious, magical fruit.
What if I told you I don't care?
A fruit called Tokijiku no Kaku. It's said that eating it will grant you immortality.
Oh, lovely.
After many hardships, Taji Momori was able to find the fruit.
And it was all a
By
hoax.
the time he got back, Ikume Iribiko had died. Taji Momori, he handed half of the fruit to the man's wife, and he left the other half on Ikume Iribiko's grave, then died on the spot. It is said that that fruit is still inside the shrine behind us.
Really? The fruit of immortality.
Yes. Not interested?
No, not really. I'd rather have normality than immortality.
Immortality ain't all it's cracked up to be when you actually think about the longevity of what that implies.
It's nostalgic. This place is a memorable one for me. 6 years ago, I used to come here with someone.
Someone?
I used to call him Uncle. He was a thoughtful, reliable man. I thought of him as a father.
By chance, was it Falco?
But one day, he just disappeared.
She's talking about.
Hitomi's lover.
I still don't... For those who are just catching up with the series, there is an equal amount of evidence to support the theory that her uncle/father figure is either Date or Falco, but there's also an equal amount of evidence contrasting both of those possibilities. But it has to be one of them, and it can't... It is not a scientific possibility for it to be both of them, so... about this uncle.
When you asked me why I became an idol, I wasn't being entirely truthful.
You never.
I told you that it was because I wanted to become famous. But more specifically, it was for Uncle. I'd been looking for him for 6 years, but I didn't find him anywhere. I didn't know where else to look. So instead of me finding him, I thought that he could find me instead.
You think if you became famous, he'd contact you?
Yeah.
So that is why she became an idol.
I mean, it's also been my dream since I was little. That's a part of it, too.
So why do you use the name Asa? Shouldn't you use your real name?
Oh no, I don't have to. He was the one who came up with the name Aset. He told me that if I ever became an idol, I should use that name.
Date, we have no time to waste. We should get moving.
Got it.
Okay, well, this was a whole lot of nothing. Moving to the, my favorite location, the cold storage warehouse.
I saw it. I'm sure. Your corpse, Iris. Right here.
But I'm here now. Maybe I'm a ghost.
Oh,
You don't
spooky.
look like a floating sheet. You have legs.
But maybe they're not legs. Maybe they're my boobs.
What the f- What is this dialogue? I tried to pick. What? Stop! Stop! Stop!
Did you say that you saved me in your dream? What did you mean by that?
I told you that I'm with an organization called Abyss, right?
So we jumped down a hole in the floor, which then caused us to fall out of the sky, except this time we fell out of the sky as a giant, and so we kicked your assailant into the ocean. And then you lived. It was crazy.
Yeah, you told me 2 days ago.
We find clues in the minds of suspects and witnesses. We enter what we call Somnium, a dream world projected by their subconscious. That's what the entire organization is about.
How do you even do that?
We have a machine that we call the sync machine.
What is that?
It's a sync machine.
That's not an explanation. Tell me how it works.
Well, I can explain, but it will require a bit of background to understand.
Background?
Don't we already have the background on how this thing works?
I've heard of it. The blood-brain barrier, right? Inside the skull, there's an army of little teeny tiny soldiers that surround the brain. They protect the brain from bad stuff in the blood, right?
That's almost it, yeah.
The blood-brain barrier describes the architecture of the microvessels of the brain. It is a kind of shield that protects the brain. To get through, an object must be no larger than 0.4 nanometers. Objects too large to slip through the barrier cannot physically access the brain.
I guess not.
No, I know what it is. It's the core programming behind AI, right?
That's right.
What?
You're shivering.
Because you're in a cold storage warehouse. Yeah, cold is in the name.
Nothing, don't worry about it.
You're standing in a cold storage warehouse. Obviously, she would be freezing. Can we not have...
Computer's explanation.
Can we not have a conversation about how AI and sync machines work anywhere other than here?
With the advent of the Wadjet system, we can extract the data of the human psyche. This data is sent to the brain, which achieves the sync.
Nanotech? Yeah, technology related to really small things. Like, really teeny tiny things. And when they make a machine, they're called nanomachines. I heard they use them a lot for medical and tech fields. Some of the cutting-edge nanomachines can even go inside your body and cure illnesses. They can even cure cancer. And they go beep, beep, beep. That's what Mom said. Well, I don't know if it was like beep, beep or rrr. But anyway, nanotechnology costs tons of money. Only a few people can even afford it. My college professor said only the richest of the rich have nanotechnology. But he's pretty liberal, so...
Largely accurate. Nano is a prefix meaning 10 to the negative 9th power.
What are we doing right now?
A nanometer is therefore 0.000.
I'm not-
The sync machine uses machines approximately 2.16 nanometers.
I was not going to wait until she finished saying every single
Viruses
zero.
are on average 20 to 970 nanometers. So sync nanomachines are far smaller than that. This allows them to access neural circuitry. During a sync, the nanomachines are used to write in the syncer's data.
Okay, you have the basics down. Let me explain how syncing works. Sinkers like me equip the sync gear and use it to access the subject's brain. Inside the helmet are nano cables, and on the tip of each of these cables is a special nano machine. But the machine can't reach the brain through blood alone. Do you know why?
The BBB soldiers say go away and push them back?
Well, yeah, kind of. But for the sync to work, we have to get the nanomachines into the brain itself. How do we do that?
Drill a hole in the skull?
No.
In Shovel Forge, you can use a pickaxe.
Shut up about your stupid Minecraft Twitch stream.
No, it has nothing to do with tools. We don't have to open a hole. Skulls already have holes in them.
I like the implication that you could just use a pick, that she was considering using a pickaxe to drill a hole in your brain.
One of those holes is the optic canal, which is a nerve canal located behind the eyes. The nanocables of the sync gear go through your eyes, then go to the back of your eye socket, then through the optic canal to the sea.
The sea?
The sea of brain cells, anyway.
That sounds kind of romantic.
It's only a chunk of protein.
Do it. What?
Once the nanocables arrive at their destination, they can begin the sync process.
Alright, one, imagine delivering a lecture on the science of how the sync machine works in a cold storage warehouse, instead of somewhere nice and warm and not freezing. But more importantly than that, do we really need to stop the game dead in its tracks to go through this?
They slide into the brain like roots of a tree, and on the tip of each cable, the nanomachine sends and receives data. This is controlled by the Wadjet system. And that's how the syncer and the subject exchange information.
Exchange?
Think of it this way. The human brain has a max capacity of one psyche, one consciousness.
Multiple instances of consciousness inside one brain can cause a total collapse of higher brain functions.
You know how a car only has one steering wheel? If there were two, there would be accidents all over the place.
Well, don't some planes have 2 control sticks?
Okay, maybe it wasn't the best metaphor. What I'm trying to say is that the human body can only hold one person. If you try to have 2 people inside one brain, it will break.
I see.
Because of this, the syncer's data goes inside the subject's brain. And the only thing inside the subject's mind at the time of the sync are their memories. Like a house with no one inside. We syncers break into the house, look for clues, and leave. All within 6 minutes.
There's a time limit?
Yes, or else the house will collapse on our heads.
An arbitrary time limit that clearly has no bearing on anything, because you can have 90 seconds left and they'll still yell at you for having 0 seconds left, because consistency with timing isn't something this game knows how to do.
The neural circuits would become too deeply entwined with one another. To put it simply, the syncer would be trapped inside the subject's house.
Thank you for explaining it. I don't completely understand how sync works.
Then why did I even bother? Why did we even bother if you...
Just don't tell anyone. This is extremely confidential.
It's okay, I won't. Date, tell me this.
Oh, great.
Who did you sync with yesterday?
Didn't I show you his picture? Congressman So Sajima.
So that's why you know so much about him.
But you've never met him, right?
I haven't, I swear. Hey, Date, you saw my corpse here, right?
I did. I'm sure of it.
And in SoStream, you saved me from getting killed.
Yeah.
And then somehow, I resurrected.
Yeah.
Date, that means you're... Achoo!
Date, is the cold too much for Iris?
Yes, get out of the goddamn cold storage warehouse, you idiots!
I'm freezing too.
Why?
Iris, let's get out of here for now.
Wow. Why is it that every single time we go to the cold storage warehouse, it is always, without fail, a colossal waste of time in one way or another? This is just... This is getting on my nerves. Maybe the Matsushita Diner will yield something not completely worthless. Maybe.
I'm so hungry.
Tessa? Why are you here?
I told Date I was hungry, so...
I've always wanted to eat here.
I'll have my usual, Ota.
Yes, right away.
Oda flew into the kitchen. Iris watched him go and took a seat. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, Oda, where's your mom? Where, is she just not here right now?
She's in the living room. I
What?
think she's watching TV.
How about you? What are you doing here?
I was just doing some meditation, lying on the ground.
I don't believe you even for a second.
Sleeping.
Date, why are you with Tessa?
Cause we're on a date with her, you little shit. Get used to it. Even though I don't like her in the slightest, if it means I can piss you off, I'll happily say it.
Not Shovel Forge.
On a date.
Oh, a date. Huh. A date?
I'm on an investigation, and she wouldn't let me.
No, commit to it. Commit to the narrative, Dante. Piss him off. Piss him off.
Date, I have some delicious fugu eggs.
Yeah.
They're not poisonous. You like some?
I'm fine.
Oh, I hate Oda so much. Oh, he's so awful. Alright, on a serious note, where's Renju?
You're still looking for him?
Yes.
Well, like I told you before, I don't know.
Great. Glad I bothered asking.
Yeah, my dad taught me when I was little.
You're making me something too, right?
Sure, my treat, Date.
I wouldn't eat anything that he gives you after that, Date. I just wouldn't. Just not something I would advise you doing.
Iris, about your coming back to life.
Hold it! What do you mean coming back to life?
I can't explain it either, Ota, to be completely honest with you. I don't think the game would actually commit to the idea that she was resurrected by what happened in the Somnium. I think it's far more likely that it was some kind of a body double or whatever. But no matter what it is, whether they go for the resurrection, hallucination, or body double route, there's problems with all of them, so... yeah. I decided to tell Oda about Iris' resurrection.
Date jumped into a parallel world where I'm still alive.
That didn't...
Tessa...
that better not have happened.
Yep.
We better not be going down the Zero Escape time. Okay. This is... the whole... there we go. Takes the flowchart some time to load. The whole parallel timeline thing works really well for Zero Escape, where that's the entire crux of the narrative. For a murder mystery, this whole branching into multiple timelines thing doesn't work quite as well. And if we're gonna commit to parallel worlds... ugh, I don't know about that one there, Chief.
Omelet rice. Ota's omelet rice is so good it gives me stomach cramps.
That's not a good thing.
You're embarrassing me.
Well, Ota appears to have taken it as a compliment.
Well, you should be embarrassed, but not for the reasons you think.
Yeah, I have.
Have you met Ota's mother, Mayumi?
Yeah, but I don't think she likes me.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Mom is just jealous of how pretty you are, Tessa.
That's not... Ota...
Not very reassuring. Whether out of jealousy or otherwise, she still doesn't like Iris.
Can't necessarily say that I blame her.
Hey, can you tell me about this parallel world idea in more detail?
Oh, sure. How should I explain this? Well, oh, I know. Let's play rock, paper, scissors.
What the...
Paper, scissors.
Are we gonna talk about the part of the parallel worlds where this time I could have done paper, or I could have done scissors, or I could have done rock, but we'll never know, or...
If we tie, nothing happens. We just shake hands. If I win, you have to give me something.
And what might that be?
What if I win?
I'll do anything.
Anything?
Date!
Mm-hmm. Anything.
Why? What? Jesus Christ, this game. Why? I was just about to say, Date, get your mind out of there right now. And then this animation plays and you're just encouraging him. Iris, listen to me. You are only encouraging Date, and you're also increasing the likelihood that Ota stabs him to death by the end of the game. Like, what are you doing?
Date, your heart rate is rapidly increasing. Why exactly is that?
Golly gee whiz, I wonder why. Could it possibly have anything to do with the same trick you used in every single action scene to get him to move faster?
Alright, let's do this.
No, Date!
Okay, let's go.
Oh, his face in the back. Otis' stupid face in the back of the room. Oh my god, that's perfect. That is just perfection.
1, 2, 3, shoot!
Oh my Jesus. What should I throw out? It's not gonna matter. It doesn't matter, whatever. She's either gonna match it or beat me no matter what I put out. So, rock. Why not?
Shoot!
Yeah, what's what I tell you.
The most boring result.
And
Well, we agreed on the rules.
one that I could almost,
Shake hands.
one that I could almost
Shaky, shaky.
guarantee would have happened no matter what. I shook hands with Iris. Meanwhile, Oda plotted my murder.
We just played rock, paper, scissors, right? We tied and shook hands, but in a different timeline.
Yeah, as if we need to be told what a parallel world is.
Or maybe you could have seen me naked or something.
Please let Oda's face snap up.
Why did I choose rock?
What exactly were you going to make her do?
You don't want to know. I don't think you want to know.
So those timelines are what I'd call a parallel world.
Why do we need to be explained? Why do I need to be told what a parallel world is?
So you think I jumped from a world in which you were dead to this one where you're alive?
That's what I think.
Huh. Parallel world, huh? I can't believe it, but...
Sure you can. Parallel worlds exist. Do you know about the Mandela effect? Or the Booba Kiki effect? Or the 100 million balls? If I explained that, would you believe me?
Can we stop waffling on?
Interesting, Tessa.
Shut up!
I know some urban legends like that.
No one cares what you know.
Temporal Man, and the Lost Friend, and the story of two sisters.
Wow, look at all the people who don't give a singular shit. I've heard people talking about it. Why must we do this?
Dante, look at this picture.
Iris pulled up a picture on her phone.
Famous experiment regarding this picture. You show this image to people around the world and ask a question. Which one is Booba and which one is Kiki?
Yeah, and they associate Kiki with the bottom and Booba with the top because Booba sounds soft and cuddly, whereas Kiki sounds sharp, which would indicate the sharper edges of the bottom one. Yes, we all know what this is. Why do...
Believe it or not, 98% of people asked have the same answer.
I'm stunned.
The rounder one is Booba, and the jagged one is Kiki.
Not like I've heard this a million times before.
Isn't that weird?
No, it's not.
In
It's
other
actually very
words,
simple.
Everyone thinks that Booba is a certain way, and Kiki is the other.
Yes, that's how psychology
It
works.
applies universally across languages.
Yeah,
and
it's
cultures.
very... I know.
There's something ingrained inside all
Stop talking. Alright, what's... we can pick it again, I guess.
Worshipping the sun and the sea, or thinking that the mother is soft and the father is jagged. Regardless of your culture or background, you probably think this way. It's what Jung called the collective unconscious. There exists a second psychic system of a collective, universal, and impersonal nature, which is identical in all individuals.
We have murders to solve. What are we doing?
Think of it like bamboo. Bamboo stalks look like individual plants since they're separated, but underground, they're all connected. Human psyches might be like that too. Connected at a subconscious level. That's...
The parallel world?
Yeah! You saved me in the dream, right? And dreams are all about our subconscious minds. So if you follow the roots...
You get to another bamboo stalk.
Yeah, something like that.
I would apply that more to just how words have been stigmatized to be reacted to, but okay, whatever.
This world is full of really interesting stuff. But you know the most interesting thing of all?
That we're still in this diner instead of trying to solve a mystery?
No, what?
That humans exist at all.
The universe developed in a very particular way to get here. If things were even slightly different, well, the galaxies and solar system and all of that might not have existed at all.
And that means humans would never be born. And even if everything happened exactly like that, the probability of human life developing is extremely low.
How exactly does this game jump like it's nothing from Dante being a perv to hey, let's talk about existential crises. Like, what are we doing right now?
And yet, here we are. Imagine a box full of ping pong balls, labeled 1 to 100 million. Would you be able to pick out the one?
Not likely.
But what if there were 100 million of you?
Well, then one of us would definitely pick up the one.
Exactly! The birth of humanity is so improbable that it's basically a miracle. But if there were multiple universes...
Then it wouldn't be strange that at least one of them had humans in it.
She is describing the anthropic principle. I may have underestimated her intelligence.
Do you know Nelson Mandela?
Yes.
Well, yeah. The former president of South Africa. He helped abolish apartheid.
He died in 2013, but a strange thing happened. When the news broke, people all over the world thought, didn't Mandela die in prison in 1980? That's the Mandela effect. It's when your memory and history have discrepancies.
Yeah, that's never affected me whatsoever.
There are lots of examples. Like the name of this kid's book with the bears having different spellings.
Yeah, and I have no idea how the hell I know all the examples, every single one that's ever been listed, and I've never understood how anyone can get basic things like this wrong.
People remembering that Kennedy was assassinated in a 4-seat car, but in our world, he was in a 6-seat car.
Huh. I thought it was a 4-seater too.
Because you're an idiot, that's why.
Or that electric mouse from that video game. You probably remember the tip of its tail being black.
That electric mouse from that video game, huh?
It wasn't?
Nope, it's all yellow, and the design didn't change.
Oh.
Lines from movies, company logos, historical events, and little things. The Mandela effect is everywhere. Why do you think that is?
Because those memories are from parallel worlds?
Oh, come on.
Would explain it.
Stop
Yes.
talking! Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Iris is sitting in front of me. Lovely. Oh, do I have to talk to you about this job? I don't want to... What are we doing right now? What is happening in this game?
Yeah, it's sort of like a common experience. A lot of people have experienced waking up in an uninhabited world they've never seen before. And most of them describe seeing the same person. The spatial temporal man. He's supposed to be an ordinary old man wearing work clothes. The spatial temporal man guides people back to the real world. He tells them, this world is not for you, or something.
I'd like to meet him someday.
And it booted me out of the dialogue wheel again.
So, this elementary school kid, let's call him C. He goes to school and there's a bunch of things on the floor. Postcards, towels, a coffee cup, rice bowls, a sink, lots of stuff. But C realized that those were all things from his own house.
How did they get to the classroom?
No one knows. It's not like anyone did it on purpose or there was a thief or anything.
Maybe something happened that made 2 parallel worlds fuse.
Yeah, maybe. So, there's this girl. Let's call her B. She's practicing piano in her room, and her little sister is watching TV in the same room. B asks her to turn the TV volume down so she can hear her piano playing, you know? So B goes back to practicing, playing a little bit. But her sister doesn't turn the volume down. She's not listening at all. So B turns around to scold her. She was really gonna let her sister have it. But she's gone. She's nowhere to be seen. She thinks, I wonder where she went. But then B hears her sister at the door. I'm home. B runs to the front door and sees her sister and her parents
Okay, look, I'm just gonna stop it. I'm just gonna stop this right. Okay, so, you know how in Zero Escape, they have a tendency to ramble, right? Throughout the Zero Escape games, it's become clear to me at this point that because the person who wrote this is the same person who wrote those games. It's become clear to me that the person that writer has a tendency to ramble about these sorts of existential, philosophical, universal discussions, however you want to describe them. And that was one of the things I mentioned in my Zero Escape Let's Plays, is that it was kind of annoying how sometimes they would just dump exposition on you occasionally. And it was annoying because they really had to just slow the pace of the game down to a dead stop to do it. But it had relevance to what was going on. And if it ends up being the case that we are in fact going for a parallel world situation here, which damn well better not be the case for this game, then it will be relevant. However, even if it is relevant, we do not need to hear about 6 different examples of these types of discussions. And this is all, by the way, coming hot off the heels of the discussion in the cold storage warehouse about the functionality of the sleep machine, which is the conversation that we already had with Pewter. So it's just, and yeah, some of the specifics change, but still, I don't. This episode is just a lot of nothing. Usually there's at least one scene where you learn something useful in the episodes. No, there's nothing substantive has happened in this episode so far.
So B asks, when did you go outside? But her mom says, what are you talking about? She went shopping with me. B is really confused by all of this, of course. She asks her little sister about it, and she learns that her favorite TV show was on. And before she went shopping with her mom, she was deciding whether or not she wanted to stay and watch it or not.
So depending on her decision, a parallel world was made.
Yeah. What B saw might have been from the world where her sister stayed behind. I know a ton of stories like this.
I don't care about any of them. Not a single one.
Being suddenly transported 1 year into the future, and there's a missing persons report out for you. You look down at your phone, but you realize that it's not yours. It's not the one you remember having. You look through the contacts, and it's filled with names you don't recognize.
Sounds scary.
There's more, too. Like this town where everyone is Japanese, but they're speaking a completely different language. And all the signs and magazines and stuff have different letters. And it's not like Korea or China. It's the Japan we know, but the language is different.
That's a prime example of a parallel world.
There's this kid, A. He's in elementary school.
Oh my god.
Well, A had this close friend named Suzuki. One day, after school, they're walking home together. A turns around to tell Suzuki a joke, and Suzuki is laughing his butt off. And he's laughing and laughing, and he laughs so hard that his eyes fall out of their sockets.
What?
Well, they were hanging down out of his eye sockets. The nerves were still connected, but A is of course in shock and doesn't know what to do. Suzuki just takes his eyeballs and jams them back into his eye sockets and keeps walking like nothing.
Why do I need to hear about this?
So A asks him about it. Like, hey, are you okay? Your eyes fell out. A is really concerned for his friend, you know? But Suzuki just says, yeah, I'm fine. He doesn't say anything about it. And by now, A is really curious. But he's not getting any answers. So they just part ways and go home. The story only gets weirder from here. The next day, A goes to school, and Suzuki's not there. A is confused and asks his teacher about it. Hey, where's Suzuki today? And the teacher says, Suzuki? Who's that? There's no Suzuki in this class. A says, what are you talking about? And he goes and asks all of his classmates about Suzuki. They all say the same thing. I don't know him. There's no Suzuki in this class.
So that kid must have jumped into a parallel world without Suzuki.
That's what I think.
Okay, these are like interesting creepypastas that you read on the internet when you have nothing else to do. This isn't something you put into your thriller mystery game.
Couldn't Suzuki just be an imaginary friend or something?
No, A was really serious about remembering Suzuki.
It is weird. And there's no way you can pop your eyeballs back in like that.
Well, not necessarily. There's such a thing as a dislocated eye. It actually isn't too hard to put your eye back in if it falls out.
Ota is correct. Dislocated eyes are easy to replace in their sockets.
Wouldn't you know?
As long as none of the nerves or blood vessels were damaged, there are usually no lasting negative effects either.
But that doesn't prove this Suzuki exists.
Well, I guess not.
You have a convicted murderer on the loose, who is currently escaping with another suspected person who may or may not be involved with the first murder you're trying to solve. What are you people doing right now? Oh my god.
How did you two get so knowledgeable?
Oh, I don't know.
Tessa is always writing about this stuff on the internet. That's why I decided to research it too. That's how I learned all this stuff. Oh, hey, I know about conspiracies and secret societies too.
I don't care. No, Oda, I need you to understand. I don't give a shit.
We could talk
I
about
don't
those.
care. I do not care at all. No,
Where's that omelet rice?
not next time.
Done.
I would have brought the dish over. He laid out it on the rice in front of me and Iris. Iris grabbed a spoon with a huge smile on her face. She picked up a spoonful. Actually, she tried to pick up a spoonful. But... is there a problem?
Tessa, are you okay?
I'm fine. My hand slipped. Let's eat.
Iris. Iris and I ate the omelet rice in near silence. There was no conversation, just the sound of a spoon hitting the plate. The diner echoed with it. And before long,
Thanks for the food.
Iris was totally re-energized. Her face was back to her usual easy smile.
That was good. Ota, your omelet rice is seriously the best.
Was that an animation glitch, or was that... that did not look natural. I mean, I guess it's possible that my eyes may just be playing tricks on me. But that did not look natural at all.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Aw, thanks. I owe it to my dad. He taught me well.
That was strange, to say the
How's it
least.
going, Ira?
Thanks again.
Thank you. Come back soon.
So I'm gonna end the video here, both because I'm just bored out of my mind with this garbage, and also because I'm gonna go look back at this episode just to see if that was just the game glitching, or if that was actually I mean, not that I could tell, right? Like, it's... because... I guess what I should say, it's whether it was my eyes playing tricks on me, or if the game was actually glitching. And if the game was glitching, was that intentional? Because it's clearly something wrong with Iris. Was that intentional, or was that just a glitch? Or, like, did the game bug, or was that an intentional skip in animation frames? I don't know. I'm gonna go check the footage and find out. This episode sucked. This was a complete waste of time. Until the very end, where we might have got something interesting, possibly. But it could also just be a game glitch. Who knows? Anyway, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more AI the Somnium Files. Goodbye.